everybody. I appreciate you for dropping in. Welcome to today's episode of the Leadership Loophole, where we break down key management and business growth strategies every single day. My name's O'Shea, and today we're going to dive into a fundamental topic, the mindset of a great leader. We're going to go over some key traits that you can learn, practical steps you could take to develop those traits, and go over a prime example of what executing those skills in the real world looks like. See, leadership isn't about just the title. It's about how you think, how you act, and how you inspire others. John C. Maxwell once said, "A leader is one who knows the way, goes the way, and shows the way." So what separates great leaders from the rest? Grab a notepad and a coffee, let's break it down. Great leaders share a few key traits, and the good news, these can be learned. And so here are some crucial ones for you. Number one, first up, vision. Great leaders don't just react to the present, they anticipate the future. Vision is about setting a clear direction and inspiring others to follow. Simon Sinek, leadership expert and author of Start With Why, emphasizes that great leaders are those who think beyond what is and see what could be. To cultivate some vision, define your why. Why are you leading, and what impact did you want to make? Set clear goals. A compelling vision must be backed by actionable steps. Communicate consistently. People follow clarity, not ambiguity. Keep your vision front and center. Think about Steve Jobs. His vision for Apple was never about just selling computers. It was all about challenging the status quo and making technology intuitive. That's the power of vision. A great leader sees the bigger picture. And Steve Jobs once said himself, "Innovation distinguishes between a leader and a follower. Leaders set the course and inspire others to follow." Number two, next let's talk about resilience. Leadership isn't just about wins. It's about weathering those losses. Angela Duckworth, author of Grit, defines resilience as perseverance and passion for long-term goals. So here's how you could build some resilience. Embrace failure as feedback. Every setback is an opportunity to learn. Develop a growth mindset. Instead of saying, "I failed," start saying, "I learned." Stay adaptable. The best leaders pivot when circumstances demand it. In this case, think about Elon Musk. From nearly going bankrupt with SpaceX to revolutionizing multiple industries, he embodies resilience. Leadership isn't about never failing and never falling. It's about always getting back up. Business is unpredictable. And just as Business Review highlights, resilient leaders are those that transform challenges into growth opportunities. And lastly, let's finally discuss empathy. Leadership is not just about vision and resilience. It's about people. Empathy allows leaders to connect, inspire, and build trust. Brené Brown, researcher and author, puts it perfectly. Empathy fuels connection. Sympathy drives disconnection. Empathetic leaders don't just hear their team, they listen. So here's how you can cultivate some empathy. Be present. Give people your full attention. Ask, don't assume. Seek to understand before offering solutions. And lead with emotional intelligence. Recognize manage your emotions, both yours and others. A great example is Satya Nadella, CEO of Microsoft. His leadership transformed Microsoft's culture by prioritizing empathy and innovation. The result, a more collaborative, growth-focused company. Simon Sinek put it best as well. Leadership is not about being in charge. It's about taking care of those in your charge. Leading with empathy builds trust and loyalty. So knowing these traits is great, but how do we develop them? Well, here are some practical steps for you. Number one, self-reflection. The best leaders don't just act, they analyze and course correct. John Maxwell once said, "Experience is not the best teacher, evaluated experience is." This means that leadership vision starts with looking inward before looking outward. So how does self-reflection build vision? Well, it clarifies purpose. Reflecting on your experiences and motivations helps you define your why. Identifies strengths and gaps. Self-awareness helps you shape a realistic yet ambitious vision. And it enhances decision-making. Leaders who self-reflect are more decisive and more forward-thinking. A great example of this is Bill Gates, who takes think weeks to deeply reflect on the future of Microsoft and its personal impact. That's how vision is born. Take 10 minutes a day to reflect on your leadership style and ask, how did I inspire others today? Next up, let's talk about continuous learning. Leadership isn't about knowing it all. It's all about growing. Warren Buffett says the best investment you can make is in yourself. But beyond knowledge, learning is what makes leaders resilient. How does continuous learning build resilience? Well, it allows you to adapt to change. The more you learn, the better you navigate challenges. It prepares you for uncertainty. New knowledge helps leaders pivot when needed. And it turns failures into stepping stones. A learning mindset transforms setbacks into lessons. A key example of this would be Oprah Winfrey. Her success came from a lifelong commitment to learning. By evolving, she remains resilient in an ever-changing media landscape. And Bill Gates reads 50 books a year. Great leaders never stop learning. Taking ownership. Finally, let's discuss ownership. Great leaders don't shift blame. They own their actions. Jocko Willink, author of Extreme Ownership, says leaders must own everything in their world. There's no one else to blame. But how does that relate to empathy? Well, it encourages accountability in others. Owning your actions fosters a culture of trust and responsibility. It develops emotional intelligence. Accepting mistakes helps leaders understand and support their teams. And it creates authentic connections. Taking responsibility makes you more relatable and human to those that you're leading. Satya Nadella transformed Microsoft's culture by taking ownership of the company's evaluation, leading with empathy, and empowering his employees. Adopt this mindset, you'll easily transform how you lead. So let's look at a real-world example of executing these traits and utilizing these different steps to develop those traits and how it looks in the real world. The perfect example being Satya Nadella. Whenever he took over as CEO of Microsoft in 2014, the company was struggling to innovate and was losing ground to competitors like Apple and Google. Nadella's leadership completely transformed Microsoft's, making it one of the world's most valuable companies. So how did he do it? Well, embracing a growth mindset, Nadella shifted Microsoft's culture from one of an internal competition to one focused on learning and collaboration. He often cites Carol Dweck's concept of the growth mindset, encouraging employees to focus on progress rather than perfection. He did it by betting on cloud computing. Under his leadership, Microsoft prioritized cloud services, launching and expanding Azure, which has become a major revenue driver, competing directly with Amazon Web Services. He led with empathy. Nadella emphasizes empathy as a leadership trait, something that he credits to his personal experiences, including raising a son with cerebral palsy. This perspective helped shape Microsoft's focus on accessibility and inclusive design. He also encouraged innovation. He fostered a culture where experimentation and risk-taking were encouraged, leading to major acquisitions like LinkedIn, GitHub, and Activision Blizzard, positioning Microsoft as a leader in both professional networking and gaming. He took ownership of change. Instead of blaming past leadership for Microsoft's stagnation, he took ownership, set a new direction, and proved that accountability leads to transformation. The result? Microsoft's market value skyrocketed from around $300 billion when Nadella took over to $2.5 trillion today. His leadership is a testament of how vision, resilience, and empathy rooted in self-reflection, learning, and ownership can drive success. So to recap what we just went over and discussed, self-reflection sharpens your vision, continuous learning builds your resilience, and ownership strengthens empathy. Mastering these fundamental traits fuels your journey towards becoming a great leader, as we've seen with Satya Nadella. When these qualities are put into action, they can lead to groundbreaking leadership success. So my challenge for you this week, ask yourself daily, am I leading with vision and empathy? Share your insights with me any chance you can, whether it be DMs or comments. I'm looking forward to hearing back from you, but I appreciate you for all your time here at the Leadership Loophole. We'll catch you guys tomorrow.